This is definitely not another Amazon Basics video. What's up everyone, it's Mark back with yet another review, and just like all the reviews that I do, everything that I go over here, I bought with my own money, nothing was sent to me. I do these reviews after I bought a product and actually been hands-on with it for a little bit. So today, I'm going through the Deity D4 Duo microphone, which it's obviously who the competitor is. It's going head-to-head with the Rode Videomicro. This Rode Videomicro is, it's extremely affordable. It's about 50 to 60 bucks. I feel like this might be everyone, including myself's gateway microphone when it comes to upgrading their camera audio. It's extremely noisy today. It's the first 70-degree day and it's chaos outside, so I apologize for the noise. So this came out of the market a few months ago from Deity, and now this is roughly the same size as the Rode. At least lengthwise, they're definitely the Deity is definitely thicker than the Rode, but kind of the primary competitor there. It is slightly more expensive at about 80 to 90 bucks, but the features that you get with this are outstanding and kind of blows away what you can do with the Videomicro. Now with the Videomicro, I always keep that in my bag as like a backup, and I use it with action cameras a lot, but this has kind of been my Swiss Army knife microphone for grab and go stuff, and even a lot of product videos when I'm doing top-down camera angles. So right now I'm using my main microphone, which is the Deity, the D3 Pro. It's kind of the big one that competes with the Rode Videomicro Plus, or I can't keep these names straight anymore. But it has to be rechargeable. It's rechargeable. It has to be charged. It has to be turned on when you connect it to the camera. Even right now, when I first started doing this video, I forgot to turn on the power to the microphone, even though I had it connected. So I had to stop, redo it, making sure this microphone's plugged in. With this and with the Rode, you don't have to worry about that. There's no battery, there's no recharging. Literally just plug it in your camera and you're good to go. But what really sets us apart from the Rode is that, there's not just the one capsule in the front capturing audio coming from the front of the microphone. There's a rear capsule as well, where you can basically capture somebody speaking from behind the camera and in front of the camera. It records it to two separate, one to the front to the left channel, the rear to the right audio channel, and it's one click in Final Cut Pro to change that, so it's dual mono, so you can hear it coming out of both ears. So that's a really cool feature. It's almost like you're using two microphones in one. And then there's even more of an added feature with an input hole for a line input on this mic, which if you plug something in here, it basically removes the rear capsule and records this line in audio to the right channel. So it opens up the possibilities of doing a lot of things with like lavaliers and with like the Rode wireless systems. So I'm gonna just do a little quick comparison between this and the Rode. Spoiler alert, I love this microphone and I use it all the time, even though I have this big Deity D3 Pro. I still use Rode with a lot of action cameras and stuff like that, but this is kind of my just go-to. I need to do something quick, doing a top-down product shot. I'm talking to somebody in front of the camera and I'm behind it, and I don't have to worry about running two mics and syncing audio later. This is the way to go. It's under 100 bucks, and it's probably the hands down the best microphone you can get for under $100. I'm sitting here editing this video, and I just realized that I completely forgot to put in the audio examples, so check them out. Okay, now we're using the Rode Videomicro. I have it in the same exact position as my Deity, which is this one here, the Deity VMic D3 Pro. That's the name. This is a typical shotgun mic, so this is what I usually use if I have time to set up. Again, though, it's rechargeable, so I have to make sure I plug it in, have it charged, and ready to go. But right now, I'm using the Videomicro from Rode, the $60 mic. The camera and the mic are probably about 2 feet away from me. So now I'm going to switch over to the Deity D4 Duo. Okay, now the audio that we're using is the Deity D4 Duo. Let's see if there's any difference. Again, I cannot tell as I'm just switching out these mics. I haven't been monitoring it in ear or listening to it back. I'm not going to hear it until I pop it into Final Cut and edit this footage together. I'm gonna put these side by side just to show you a little bit more of the features and kind of give you really an example of how I would typically use this. Okay, so here I have the microphones side by side using my handy wandered tabletop here to go through them. As you can see, when you look at them side by side, the Rode and the Deity are almost identical in size, especially length. There's definitely a little bit more thickness to the Deity versus the Rode. And again, there's two capsules on the Deity. There's this front and rear capsule. There's a handy little switch right here where you can switch from only using this front capsule, flip the switch back, and now both sides are active where you can get sound coming in from the front and the side on two different channels, and then just put it in the dual mono in Final Cut Pro or whatever editing software that you're using. It's really easy to do. It takes a second, and it's a great feature to have, especially a video like this that I'm doing when I'm, filming things straight down and I'm talking behind the camera. Right now, I had to, basically take off my microphone that I'm using, switch it around so it's facing me, so I can have the audio sound clear instead of being muffled behind the camera. Typically, if I was doing something like this, I use this microphone so it can pick up the audio here and then the audio behind the camera the same way. As I mentioned, there's this little input hole right here, which is a really cool feature. So you can take, this is just a cheap Boya lavalier mic. You can get these on Amazon for like 20 bucks. But, the cable for this is a mile long. I can just plug it right into the side here. And with this mounted on top of the camera, I can get audio from the front on the left channel, and then whoever is mic'd up with this lavalier, the audio would go to the right, and then you can just switch them in Final Cut so you can get them on both sides. So it's a great feature to have, especially for interviews, because again, if you're interviewing someone with this, you can just turn the mic around so you are speaking into this front part, and then, the lavalier is basically replacing the rear capsule or vice versa. So there's a ton of features with this little microphone. And being under $100, I think this is hands down the best piece of recording equipment that you can get. And one of the other great things about this mic is I love the sound quality of this, and because it's so small, especially when you pop these out of the shock mounts, they're really easy to pack away. Something like this is what I typically take this and like an Osmo Action or an Osmo Pocket and literally have it in a super tiny bag with me at all times. So with these, again, there's no battery power. You just plug them straight into the camera. You don't have to worry about anything like that. So it's extremely convenient. There's nothing to worry about charging. You literally just plug it into the camera and you're good to go. And you have like a multi-mic setup for the most part, again, for $100. And, sometimes when I've been traveling with this and I don't have like a proper audio interface and an XLR mic to do like any kind of voiceover or anything like that, there's been times when I've actually just sat in front of the camera and did my voiceover using this, and then I just separate the audio from the video in Final Cut and just use the audio track like that and move it around how I need to, because the sound quality is that good. This, they've been in and out of stock, but I would definitely try and get a hold of one of these. The Videomicro is great. It has its purposes. Again, I keep it with action cameras in the same bag at all times. This one is definitely more of, it's almost like a utility knife for a microphone. Provided, you're not outdoors and then a person's not super far away. But if, you're in somewhat close quarters with someone, or you're doing like a top-down product shot video, this is the way to go. Again, under $100, it's about $80. I can't recommend it enough. Try and get your hands on one of these. There's so much that you can do with it. And it really, even if this is like a backup, it's literally, as I just said, like a Swiss Army knife for recording. There's so many different things you can do, leveraging both sides and the input. One thing I'm actually looking forward to trying whenever it actually gets here is the new Rode Wireless Go 2. That's a mouthful, but the one with two transmitters. If I can have two wireless transmitters and run the bass into this, it would basically be like a 3-mic solution, so I can record 3 different things and then not have to worry about syncing up different audio sources afterwards. So as soon as that gets in, I'm going to try that. But for now, that's pretty much all I have on these. Obviously I'm not going to go through all the crazy frequency responses. There's people like, Gerald and Dunn that are going to do that for you. I just want to give you my personal experience. These are all products I bought my own money. I want to make sure I'm giving you recommendations from me actually using these things over time. So check it out, the Deity D4 Duo. Can't recommend it enough. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Thanks.